Now, okay, the Washington Post just came out with a hilarious account of Corey Lewandowski. Fuck.
It's okay. I only know that because I grew up in Chicago, which is just the most Polish people you've ever seen in your life.
This is Corey. Here are some words that rhyme with
Corey in the house.
Okay, so they have a highlight reel of his soon-to-be released campaign tell-all book. And man, oh man, there is some funny shit in here. I was going to begin here. It says, the article starts, Elton John blares so loudly on Donald Trump's campaign plane that the staffers can't hear themselves think.
That's good.
Press Secretary Hope Hicks uses a steamer to press Trump's pants while he's still wearing them.
Awesome.
Trump screams at his top aides who are subjected to expletive-filled tirades in which they get their face ripped off.
Baller.
Cool. And Trump's appetite seems to know no bounds when it comes to McDonald's, with a dinner order consisting of 2 Big Macs, 2 Filet-O-Fish, and a chocolate malted.
Jesus
Imagine eating
fucking Christ.
4 McDonald's sandwiches for dinner every day.
All right.
This is Matt and I were talking about this before.
We're cubic by the day.
Fuck this hell world. How is he still alive?
How is Rich Piana is dead and Donald Trump is alive.
How is he still alive? How is his entire intestinal tract just not like anal beads, but they're tumors? How is that not everything inside of his body?
He has not eaten a piece of, like a single item of non-processed food in probably 60 years.
He does not eat fruit. He does not eat vegetables. The only reason he doesn't have scurvy is because of all the fucking ketchup that he eats.
All right. All right. This is episode 900 of More Presidential by the fucking Day. So we're up bright and early at 6 a.m. Right now we're watching Fox and Friends. I'm going to walk over to the TV and thank them for a great TV episode. Fucking awesome. Great work. I love you guys. I don't know how you get in the fucking TV. All right. Right now, I'm about to eat my 2 McDoubles. These are morning McDoubles. They don't have cheese on them. Cheese is for later in the day after Jared tells you about a phone call with a Chinese guy he had that you don't pay attention to. Right now, I'm going to summon Jeff Sessions to the office and make him stand under a ruler. We have to have him admit that he's 5'6" every day of his life. He can only keep doing racism if I humiliate him.
I mean, if you can't laugh at this, then what the fuck are you
Remember
doing? Right?
when
There's nothing else to do.
You remember when Trump took his first flight on Air Force One, and there was this press gaggle around him? He's just grinning like an idiot, and there's a loud TV blaring.
Yep, I remember that.
Just like New York One or something, and just daytime news ads, and you just hear 1-800-EMPIRE. Call it. Just so fucking loud, and this is just all he hears all day.
The line about
He's one of the bad children from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
He's the son from Bad Santa. He's Lauren Graham's son from Bad Santa. Just
He's Thurman Merman.
Thurman Merman, yeah. Where he cuts himself on the advent calendar. Ow! Ow!
No, he cut himself. He cut himself trying to whittle a wooden pickle as a gift for Billy Bob Thornton.
Sorry.
Frankly, I don't get it. If it's not edible, why would they make wood out of something?
The detail about blaring Elton John is like fucking Almost Famous. They're all singing Tiny Dancer on the plane together. But okay, this is the next really funny bit about Manafort, where it says, in a section of the book written by Lewandowski, Trump is described as flying on his helicopter when he learns that Manafort has said Trump shouldn't be on television anymore. That's the cardinal sin. That he shouldn't be on the Sunday shows and that Manafort should appear instead. Trump was angrier than Lewandowski had ever seen him, ordering the pilot to lower the altitude so he could make a cell phone call. This is him now. Did you say I shouldn't be on TV Sunday? I'll go on TV any goddamn fucking time I want, and you won't say another fucking word about me, Trump yelled at Manafort. Tone it down? I want to turn it up. You're a political pro? Let me tell you something. I'm a pro at life. I've been around. I've been around a time or two. I know guys like you with your hair and skin. Guys like you with your hair and skin. You know those weird things that guys like you have?
You weird son of a bitch with your epidermal layer of protection to keep you from being damaged by weather, you weird bitch. I just have a thin pink layer of slime from 50 years of eating McChickens.
You're fired. You're all fired. I'm hiring a choir of dancing skeletons from a 1930s cartoon.
And no, this is
the president.
This is the best follow-up line, though, when he said, I know guys like you with your hair and skin, or when he said, I'm a pro at life. Lewandowski called it, quote, one of the greatest takedowns in the history of the world.
If you showed Lewandowski a video of like a feral hog screaming at another over an apple, he would be like destroyed.
What is the opposite? So, like, there's always a joke. Somebody was cursed, like, you know, they ran over a Roma, or they fucking like kicked a leprechaun.
Thinner.
Yeah. What is the opposite of that? Like, did he accidentally give a leprechaun an orgasm or something? Because he is the most charmed oaf in the history of the world. He eats nothing but charred gristle and grade F meat for 70 years. He has no cancers. He is nothing but fails and fucks up and loses billions of dollars, and he just keeps getting it back.
Winning. Dude, he's
and
a
then
winner.
he becomes fucking
Good at life.
president.
He's a pro at life,
And not just that. That Lewandowski thing is perfect because he's not even like just on his surface. He's not like a clever or charming person in any way, but just any of the insane, stupid things he says. Like 30% of the country, including Corey Lewandowski, is like he's a wizard with words. He's so cool.
But it's
like he
just-
gets up there and he's like, you know what? I'm just going to say right now, Geraldo, we've had a turbulent relationship. And people are like, I'd fucking die for you. You're so cool.
What's so amazing, though, is that America's awful atavistic capitalism is propped up by this ideology of deserved wealth and the self-made man is this fantasy figure that basically justifies all manner of grotesque inequality. Even if he doesn't exist, the idea of the self-made man exists. And because we don't want to stop that from happening, that glorious miracle of someone rising from nothing and through their own guile and grit becoming rewarded with massive success, because we want to make that possible, we're willing to overlook devastating, horrifying inequality and injustice. And that our president is the anti-Horatio Alger. He is the guy who just fucks up repeatedly, is manifestly incompetent and corrupt, and never pays for it. His entire existence repudiates the entire fantasy behind American capitalism, and yet people just can't process it, I guess, so they just turn it around and be like, no, he wouldn't have the money if he wasn't smart and good at his job.
This country is...
It's transparently a sham, but fortunately, I think more and more people are realizing what a sham meritocracy is, and what you need is an actual political movement or structure that takes advantage of that.
And
we
you know
just
what?
don't have it now.
We had a lot of despair today, but I think we need to have a little bit of fucking sunshine and a little bit of optimism.
Chris,
And
play
it is
Walking on Sunshine.
And it is the fact that we clearly are seeing a change in the way people think about this shit.
yeah.
We're clearly seeing, like we were talking about after the off-year elections, how you're seeing the beginning of sort of a Bush-era, post-2006 souring on national Republicans and a willingness of people to come out to vote against them. But this time, there were so many people who were getting brought in on that wave who are out socialists, who are genuinely purporting forth that class first vision that we said has been missing. So it's coming back.
We need Jezza. We need you. Come over here, King.
Yeah.
I mean, that's very true, Matt. And obviously, a lot of people are going to be swept in this wave, and it's also going to be a lot of DNC, D-Trip favored candidates like just stuttering veterans who talk about means testing Medicare and things like that. So if you think that. And I hear people talk about this a lot. If you maintain this fantasy that this rift in the Democratic Party is anytime soon going to be bridged in time for 2018 or beyond, that's just not going to happen. One side has to win. And that's it.
This country is insanely stupid and probably doomed, but let's just dive back into this article because it's really fucking funny.
Okay.
It goes, this is... In another episode, Lewandowski describes how staffer Sam Nunberg was purposely left behind at a McDonald's because Nunberg's special order burger was taking too long. Leave him, Trump said. Let's go. And they
Power
did.
move.
Oh my god.
Here he goes. Trump's fast food diet is a theme. On Trump Force One, there were 4 major food groups: McDonald's, Kentucky Fried Chicken, pizza, and Diet Coke. The plane's cupboards were stacked with Vienna fingers, potato chips, pretzels, and many packages of Oreos because Trump, a renowned germaphobe, would not eat from a previously opened package. The book notes that orchestrating and timing of Mr. Trump's meals was as important to as any other aspect of his march to the presidency, and it describes the elaborate efforts that Lewandowski and other top aides went through to carefully time their delivery of hot fast food to Trump's plane as he was departing his rallies. Wet boy loves hot fast food.
Oh my god.
Father's food must be hot.
Oh my God.
Hot
You know,
food-
that's what's
hot
going to
food
take him.
for father.
That's what's going to take him down is probably a salmonella outbreak. I mean, after he puts fucking Krusty the Clown in charge of the FDA
Yeah, no, felled by his own
or the
sword.
USDA.
You know what's amazing is that the other campaign was the greatest collection of hyper ambitious psychos, and they had over $1 billion. And
Yeah,
the other
that is-
people
it really-
were
it's
just
really funny.
Were just a bunch of guys who were taking Chinese off-brand Cialis and giving Big Macs to an infant, and the infant team won. These people, since they were 12 years old, were thinking about their entrance essays to Harvard versus just all these dumbasses and the big meal baby, the big fat meal baby, and they won. They fucking won. Oh my god. Oh my fucking god.
Well,
Oh man, I wish I could.
Fuck me.
I wish I could have been there to see the looks on their faces.
Dude, that would have been the only regret I have about our election night show is that we
It
didn't
wasn't
do it
at the Javits Center. Yeah.
Imagine seeing just this ice chewing psychopath who thought he was going to be like a State Department undersecretary when they're like, the McDonald's guy won Wisconsin. The team of guys who can't go into Pep Boys because they said the wrong racial slur to a cashier. They
But-
beat you.
But you know what, though? Fair and square, they did, but they were helped along the way because the GOP's own ice-chewing psychopaths had plowed the field for them by doing voter suppression in many states.
That's right.
And decreasing turnout by increasing voter ID laws and making it harder to vote, shutting voting places, and they were doing that with that clear-eyed psycho intensity of any of these professional political operatives, and then it all went to the benefit of the fat orange idiot rolling down a hill in a giant barrel.
Dianne Feinstein thinks that they're going to get him on an obstruction of justice case.
Did you see the thing today where like
This criminal genius.
Did you see the thing
he's
today?
like Walter White.
Did you see the thing today where he tweeted what many lawyers have basically said it is an admission of obstruction
Yes.
of justice, and then one of Trump's flunky lawyers just came out and said, "I tweeted that."
Which is an obvious lie.
That's amazing. He has all the dumbest, most selfish man who fucks over everyone who believes in him.
He has a lawyer named Ty Cobb. You know, that dude is batting 400, dude. Can you believe that shit?
but it's like,
But they didn't even fire that guy. Which, I tweeted something under my client's name that is an admission of obstruction of
Guilt.
justice. You should probably be fired. But he's still there, which
know
makes
what's
me think he was just like, I said it. I wrote the
what's
Iggy.
amazing.
I did the Iggy.
That's the final. That's the final most amazing thing about Trump. Trump fucks over everyone who's closest to him. Like he fucked over Christie, he fucked over Giuliani. Now this lawyer guy, and it's like there's no reason to like ride with him unless you need to sell a shitty building. But it just keeps people are still like, no, I want to be with this guy, this untrustworthy, petulant, fat infant.
It'll be cool when that lawyer says that under oath and just gets immediately disbarred, and Trump still wins the case.
And Trump's like, I told you he was a fucking loser. You fail. He forgets that they made that deal. He doesn't hold up his end of the bargain.
I
It's gonna happen.
so we're almost over here. I mean, as a show and a society, but I actually I do want to close with like one just serious thought that like we've been hitting out. Like obviously, if you're feeling a lot of despair, like I I share it with you because, and like it's getting harder. It's hard to imagine a way out of this in the near future. However, I do believe that the majority of people in this country, if someone were to articulate a vision, like, you know, if we had a figure like Corbyn who said, you know, rise like lions, we are many, they are few, or could articulate a vision that is contra to this like nightmare that we're living in, I think people like, I think there are more people than ever in this country that like that is like the broad base of support for that. It doesn't exist. Like the political infrastructure for that doesn't exist.
And there are people that
we got to try to create it from scratch or just do something.
There are people I'm optimistic about, like specifically Carlos Rosa in Chicago running for Illinois 4th District. Vote for Carlos when the time comes. But yeah, you know, like they can come out of nowhere. People really can.
Like,
and
yeah.
And in the absence of a leader, you need a movement. You need a mass movement.
And
Yes.
you know,
And like I said,
believe
it
me,
needs
like,
to be more than
here's
about
the
elections.
thing, like as Matt was pointing out, like the people, all the assholes know this, and that's why they're trying as hard as possible to make people's lives more precarious through their awful judges that are going to just infest our entire federal judiciary for probably as long as I'm fucking alive, are going to make it just our democracy even more of a sham than it already is. They're going to empower
to the GameFAQs message board moderators and disbarred magicians that Trump has nominated the judiciary. John McCain rubber stamped every
I
single
cannot
one.
wait for the viral videos about the Trump justices. Yeah, street magician destroys pro-choice activists.
Look, I don't know what you're talking about. I think that Logan and Jake Paul are going to break great federal judges.
Well, we described all this horrible shit that they're doing and that they're getting away with, but like they're doing it because they know how fucking like that in a functioning democracy they couldn't do this.
Yeah,
right.
And they're doing it to hold on, to just clamp down even more of the fucking power and money that they have because they know it can get taken away from them.
Yep.
And we have to. That's the only thing to do. And they're going to use the law and government and money to make it harder and harder to do that. But like, again, just there are more of us than there are of them. I don't know what else to say, but
Yeah.
what I will do,
It's a start at least.
it's a start. So